Hey there, I'm Alicia. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about all of the books that I plan to read in this very short month of February. So let's get right into the video. I have to keep reminding myself that it's a short month. 28 days, short month. Don't overdo it. It'll be fine. I'm honestly a little bit stressed out already because it's already February 1st. I'm sitting down and filming this on February 1st and I haven't started reading, which, it's fine. Reading is a hobby. It's okay if I don't read for a couple of days in a month. It's totally fine. I just have to remind myself of that. So with that being said, there are definitely some books on this list that I will definitely read or get to, and some of them I might pick up in February if I do have time and if I get to them. So why don't we go ahead and start off with the two books that I will for sure end up reading this month. The first of those is for my Reading Latin American Authors project. This month we are flying all the way to Argentina. Gosh, I really wish I was there right now because I'm sure it's pretty sunny there today and it's not here, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So for the country of Argentina, I'm going to be reading Kalpa Imperial by Angélica Gorodischer, and this is translated by Ursula Guin. This is a standalone fantasy book, and I already gave a synopsis of it during the announcement video for the Latin American Reading Project, so I will go ahead and link that down below in case you want to know what this book is about. But really briefly, to give you a little bit more on the author, it looks like she was born in Buenos Aires in 1929 and then lived in Rosario, Argentina for most of her life. So I'm really intrigued, and particularly with this one, because I have read a lot of books by authors from Argentina, but I've never read a fantasy from Argentina. A lot of the books that I've read by Argentinian authors fall within the horror, sci-fi, speculative fiction category. So like I said, never read a fantasy. So this will be super interesting. I wonder if it'll have sort of the same themes that we find in other books from Argentina or if it's completely different. Really excited to find out. And also translated by Ursula Guin. What? The next book on this list I'm super excited for because it is for a brand new book club that I just recently started. I'll also link that announcement video down below, but it's for the Lit in Translation book club. It's starting this month, February, and my lovely co-host Steph from Coffee Over Apples will be joining me in reading this book. This is going to be Vagabonds by Jingfang, and this is a sci-fi book that is translated from Chinese into English by Ken Liu. It feels like it's going to be very character driven, and I love that in sci-fi, but it is huge. It's a little bit over 500 pages. I haven't read something quite this big in a long time, so it is a little bit intimidating if I'm honest. Also, this wasn't planned, but today is Lunar Year, so happy Lunar New Year. And apparently on Lunar New Year you're supposed to wear red, hence this giant red sweater, and it's supposed to symbolize good luck. And I don't know, there's something about the red being on this cover and this book just being the first book club pick. I don't know, it just feels lucky somehow, if that makes sense. I know I said during the announcement video that I would let you know when the live show is. Steph and I unfortunately haven't set a date yet, but I will go ahead and update the description box with the date once we do decide, and also update y'all on Instagram. So come back to this video in like a week or so and it should be updated by then. If not, I will remind you in a different video. So from here, it's kind of up in the air. I don't really know what I want to read. So this video will go up either later this week or next week, but I'm participating in the 12 books by 12 friends challenge on Instagram, and I originally planned to read one of those books every single month. That way by the end of the year I read every single one of them, and I didn't want to stack up on books because some of these are fantasy series, and I just don't want to start multiple series at the same time, So I told myself one book every month. So I could choose something from this list to add to my TBR. I'm looking at them right now and they are all pretty big books, which is not ideal because again, it's a shorter month. So I'm thinking from these, I'm going to read Crying in H Mart. Crying in H Mart is one that I started last year. It's a nonfiction, it's a memoir. I'm also planning to read one nonfiction a month. So I feel like that would work great for this month. The cover of this one is also red, so also lucky. So I might end up doing that because I started it and then I put it down because Ben really wanted to read it, and then he read it and he loved it. So I feel like it's finally time to pick it up. So I think I will do that one. So then there's two other book clubs that I wanted to participate in. The first one is Read in Color, which is hosted by Jenisin over at This Story Ain't Over. Her book club selection for this month is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, and this is one that I've been meaning to get to for a very long time. It's also a book written by a Black author, And as you know, I'm also trying to read 2 books by female Black authors every month, so this would definitely count towards it. Again, I don't want to start multiple series at the same time. I believe this is a series, and it is the first one, so we don't know when the second one will be out yet, which is kind of nice right now because I don't have to immediately read the next one. That happened with another one of her books. I ended up reading The Killing Moon and really enjoying it, but I didn't jump immediately into The Shadowed Sun, so now I feel like I have to reread The Killing Moon before jumping into it because, you know, I feel like I forgot everything. So we might participate in that. This one is a maybe. So the rest of these books are also in my maybe pile. The first one is Callus Will Be Carried by Amanda Gorman. This is her collection of poems that recently came out, and it's this beautiful blue cover. This is one that I immediately picked up as soon as it came out, and I haven't got into it, but it's one that I was really excited about. And you know, I want to pick up books that I'm excited about when I'm excited about them, and I'm still really excited about this one. So this is one that I want to read. This is also another one that can count towards my 2 books by 2 female Black authors, so that is fantastic. Actually, you know, this is going to be a definitely. I'm going to read this for sure. So my camera died earlier and I kept talking and rambling, so if things look differently, it's because I had to charge it, and then now I'm back. The next book on this list is going to be Love in Color by Bolu Babalola, and this is a retelling of mythical tales from around the world, which just sounds fantastic. And do you see this beautiful freaking cover? I just remember seeing it at Barnes and Nobles and I was like, that's it. I need to get it. I need to read it. It looks amazing. So this is going to be book number 2 for reading 2 books by 2 female Black authors every month. We have Callus What We Carry and now Love in Color. I'm not generally someone who is extremely into retellings and myths, but I do like to learn about them from time to time, especially when the retellings or the myths are non-European or non-Western centric. I love that. Earlier last year, I read a bind up of collections and myths that were set in Asia, and I just remember them being so fascinating. And some of them, ironically enough, resembled a lot of the Mexican folklore and tales that I grew up with. So I just thought that was super interesting. So in this one, we're specifically focusing on magical folk tales of West Africa. And she also reimagines Greek myths and ancient legends from the Middle East. So I know that I will at least find this intriguing, and I'm sure that I will love a lot of the tales in here. Okay, so that wasn't too ambitious. There is one more book that I may potentially read, and this is going to be the book trope. I can never say that. Book troop. This is going to be the book troop pick for February, and that is The Silent Woods. It is a thriller. This was a book that really stood out to me as I was perusing the shelves of Barnes & Noble a couple of weeks ago, and it's been on my mind ever since. It feels like one that I'm really gonna love just because of the whole premise of it. There's this mother and daughter who live in the woods, and they rely on someone to like bring them their daily, weekly, monthly rations. I don't quite remember because it's been a while since I've read the synopsis, but I still remember this. And that person, I think, goes missing, or they don't show up or something, and so they're kind of stranded out there, and it's set in the forest and it's wintry, and it just sounds everything that I love, so I might pick that up. And the reason that I'm saying that this is a maybe, it's because I put it on hold through Libby, so I don't know if my hold will come in on time, but if it does, then I'll definitely pick it up in February. If not, I'll pick it up whenever it comes up. So yeah. And if you already didn't think that this was an ambitious TBR for a very short month, I'm going to be starting a Chinese classic. Have I decided yet? No, so I'm going to show you both. The first one is The Dream of Red Chamber, and this is also called The Story of the Stone, I believe. It goes by both names. I'm not sure why. If you know why, let me know. The other one is called The Journey to the West. Both of these are considered 2 of the 4 great Chinese classics. I do eventually want to read all 4. These are just the 2 that I currently have. And so I haven't read any of the Chinese classics, and I haven't read a classic in a very long time. So if you have read any of these 2 or any of the 4, please let me know which one I should begin with. Should I start with The Dream of Red Chamber or The Journey to the West? Now, whichever one I decide to choose, I know that I'm not going to finish it in February just because they're pretty hefty and they're classics, so I know this is going to be like a 1 to 3 month endeavor. We'll see how long it takes me to finish them, but the plan is to read a little bit every single night, maybe a chapter or 2, and just keep reading until I finish them. So that's the plan. One thing I did forget to mention earlier, I will be making recommendation videos for the countries that we choose for the Latin America reading project. I'll put out the one for Argentinian authors first, and then go back and make one for authors in Mexico, and then from there all stay current. I've also made a spreadsheet, so if you ever have any recommendation for us, if you know of any author for any of these particular countries, leave it in the comment in any video and I will make sure to add it. Or you can also make a comment on the spreadsheet that will be linked down below, so make sure to check it out. The books that are in bold are the books that I've read. If it's not in bold, I haven't read it, but it's one that you could still check out. So that was all for February. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, let me know down below, what is the one book that you have to get to? It's a priority for February. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.